Good morning. I thought I'd put loads of little videos together showing you the next job that I've got in. So it's a BMW 3 Series estate, and it's in for a full deep cleanse, decontamination and single stage polish, and then we're applying CarPro's Sea Quartz Light, which is a ceramic coating which is up to about 12 months of durability. So give a nice bit of shine to it as well, bit of protection. So yeah, that's what I've got in next. So, next stage is the third stage of the decontamination process, which is cleaning the paint to remove any final bonded on contamination. So I'm just going to jack the car up a bit. I'm going to start on the side. When you start getting old like me, it's a lot easier to have it up in the air. So we've got our clay, which I've just warmed up a little bit to make it a bit more malleable. Malleable. And just with some water, just work your way across. You see, so I've had to do this all for a minute. You generally start at the higher points first of all, because the lower points have got the main contamination bonded on. So I always do the tops first, and when the clay's really bad, then I start it down the bottom. As you're going across, you can hear where it's picking up bits of the contamination which is stuck to the paint. And hear it up there, and I can see some of it as well. Just tap water I've got in here, but I've actually used some warm tap water this time instead of cold, just to look after my delicate skin. So it's a nice feeling when you when it starts to get smoother and smoother, you know, and then it's really, really clean. And that's basically what you've got to do all the way around the car. As you can sort of see. So here we are on the correction polishing stage. The majority of the BMW has been done. I've still got to do the door, the rear panel, the side skirt and the front bumper. I did most of it yesterday. So yeah, so I just thought I'd show you, so I'm putting all these little videos together to show all the bits and pieces that I get up to. So today I'll be using, as I've been using yesterday as well, dual action polisher with the Rupes yellow pad, which is a very popular pad, multi-use on that one. That's a 5-inch pad, I think it is. And I'll also be using the 4-inch pad, again Rupes yellow, which will be for, follow me, it's going to be for these areas along here, because I've got a bit of a dimple to get to, and then also be used for this area down here and here. So I'll use that one in a minute. Car Pros polish medium cut compound called Fixer. So they say cut levels about 6, gloss levels about 8. Polishes are compounds, whatever you want to call them. There's lots of different ones on the market. I use 2 or 3 different brands, but what I'm trying to do is, depending on what sort of cars that are coming in, I know how soft or hard the paint's going to be. Then I'll sort of stick with that one brand and maybe use 1 or 2 polishes. A lot of it is down to the pad choice and also the pressure that you put on and the machines that you're using. But it's also very important to keep your pads clean. So this one's got a bit of residue on there. This is obviously some of the clear cut that you've taken off or cleaned up the paint with. That's on the surface of the pad. If you don't remove that, all you're doing is you're making the next section you go to a bit harder to do because the pad can't do its job properly. So generally what I do with the foam pads, if you're using the microfiber pads or the wall pads, I just blow them out with the air compressor. But But with these ones, the foam pads, first of all, I always just brush them out. And then just give them a quick finish off with a blow, fresh air. And then we'll clean pad again. Don't need to use much of this. Basically, I'll just put maybe 3 blobs up. And I'll start by just doing a small half a section at a time. If you spread it over too far a section, you're thinning the compound out and it will dry out too quick and it won't do so properly. So you keep it on a smaller area. Now with this pad combination with the polish is enough cut to take out some of the light swirling marks which are in the paint. If there are a couple of deeper ones, I can just put a bit more pressure on there, change the speed, and we're good to go. Already the gloss levels come back up. Remove the light marks on the paint. And it's on to the next section. So the BMW 3 Series has had its polishing done to remove some light hazing marks on the surface. I also went a couple of steps further on some of the deeper scratches. I removed some of them and I enhanced some of the others, and it's all been refined. It's all nice and glossy and shiny. So the next stage is removing the excess oils that are in the paint surface from the polishing stages. So we want to have a nice clean, clinically clean surface now for the ceramic coating to bond to. So I'm using Car Pro Eraser, which they just call an intensive oil and polish cleaner. And all we do is a nice soak in. We use all different things. IPA is another one, isopropylene alcohol. Doesn't work as well because it evaporates very quickly, and ideally what you want is it to sit on the surface for a bit to do its job, and then you basically wipe it off. So this is why I use the proper oil cleaners. U-Pol is another one that I use as well. And then basically with a nice clean microfiber cloth, just basically wipe over. Obviously you do the whole car, or anything that's going to be ceramic coated. So you're wiping it in and then the rest of it just evaporates. You also use this during your correction refining stages, because what it does, it removes any of the oils out in the paint, but also that and then leaves a bare surface. You can see whether the scratches are still there or the marks are there, so it's a good indication as you're going along how well you're doing. So I'm just going to go and speed this up and do the whole car. So the car has all been erasered, Car Pro Erasered, which removes all the excess oils from the polishing stages. So now the surface is all nice and clean, super glossy. Now it's onto the ceramic coating. This one is going to be having Car Pro Sea Quartz Light. This is a coating which lasts 6+ months. But generally I see it lasting up to 12 months quite easily, because I'll be putting 2 layers onto this car, and also because of the prep work that's gone on beforehand and the work that I've done, it'll get the most durability out of it. 12 months maximum. If you think about it, normally if you'd have your car clean, you polish it and you put a wax on it, the waxes maybe last 2 to 3 months maximum. And at the end of those 3 months max, there's hardly anything on there, and all it gives you is a bit of water sheeting ability. So when it rains, you see like the water beads on the paint surface, they start to break down as soon as it starts to rain, so they don't last that long. And also things, if you get like bird poo on your car or tree sap and everything, it doesn't protect against that at all, so therefore that can eat into the clear coat. Even with the Sea Quartz Light, because it's a ceramic coating, the can will cut out then. But anyway, as I was saying, the ceramic coating, because it's actually coats onto the surface, it helps with washing the car, so it's very easy to wash afterwards, because the dirt finds it difficult to stick. It's also got some resistance to bird poo, tree sap and all sorts of things, acid rain, all sorts of things. So it's obviously not going to be anywhere near as good as the professional coatings that I use, like Sea Quartz Professional Finest Reserve, but also it comes out a lot cheaper. So this car was basically given a good wash, totally decontaminated, sorry, and then it was mainly single stage polish to remove some of the light marks on the paintwork, and so then degrease, and now this coating is going to go on. So we're going to be going on to applying the Seaquartz light ceramic coating. It's a very, very easy coating to use, which is why it's just a normal consumer product. Anyone can go out and buy it. Basically, you just put it on the surface and you just buff it off. There's no flash times, curing times or anything. So you just got to watch where you're going. Especially on a white car, it's quite hard to see where you're going. So basically, you just do a small area at a time again. And just make sure that you overlap where you've been. I put quite a bit on the applicator pad for the first time, but I like to get a nice even coat. So with the other coatings, there's different time scales that you've got to take it off. Keep an eye on temperatures and all sorts of things with this one, so it's designed to just go on. And then we buff it straight off. So that noise in the background is my unit's shutter doors. I haven't been outside since about 10 this morning, so I've got no idea what the weather's like out there. But I think it's quite windy, and also just makes the shutter door shake and rattle about. So you just make sure that you just gently go over the top. Obviously the coating's already started to cure, that's what I say, it does it very quickly, so what you're removing, very little amount of the product, you're just making sure it's getting spread about properly. You've been in a white car, you just got to remember where you've gone to. What I always do, on the safe side, is always use a second cloth just to finally buff it. And the plan is that you basically do the whole car, and after an hour, and then come back to the same spot and just start to apply the second coating. And this coating apparently is dried enough to be put out, so the car can go outside after 4 to 5 hours. But mind you, this one's not going to be collected. Well, actually, I'm dropping it back tomorrow night, I think it is. So I've got plenty of time to have it indoors overnight, which can only be of benefit. So. There we go, that's all you need to do. And another one done. BMW 3 Series estate, 2013 model. Came in for a good wash, deep cleanse, decontamination of all the paint and the wheels. Then mainly a single stage polish refine to remove some of the dullness from the paint, but also had to do a bit of area, especially on the door, which has some deeper scratches in it, enhanced those. And then CarPro Seaquartz Light ceramic coating was applied, which can durability up to about 12 months. Obviously gives a bit more gloss and shine to the surface, makes future washing a lot easier, and obviously helps protect against things like bird droppings and tree sap residue, things like that. So again, looks fantastic. Video will be along in a second. Enjoy. Thank you very much.